Many years ago, I was staring outside the window, daydreaming about playing outside with my friends. And then a stern voice called me and pulled me back to what we were doing at the moment. How many of you have had things that you have to do, but then you end up procrastinating and looking at other things because those things don't involve work? Those things are fun, and you would rather end up doing the fun things compared to doing the work that needs to be done right then. I was with my mother in front of a blackboard in my room learning English words. I was just like any other kid. When faced with work, I would daydream about the fun that I could have outside. This is not even taken into consideration the many days that I spent playing outside. And at this one time when I was supposed to focus on the work ahead of me, my mind was daydreaming. In my life, I have been through 3 big upheavals when it comes to my approach to study. In this video, I'm going to talk about the first upheaval. Now, when I say 3 different upheavals, there's 3 big changes to the way I approached my studying. And within those big changes, especially towards the end, there were many small changes that eventually led to a big change. And honestly, I don't think that I've even scratched the surface when it comes to knowing the best way to learn. But the journey that I have been on when it comes to learning, I feel it's a journey that will benefit you. If you're a high school student and you want to learn how to study, if you're a medical student and you want to learn how to study, if you're a resident and you want to learn how to study, and if you pass all of that and you still want to learn how to study, these videos that I'm going to make will help you. Studying is work. And in order to be able to study, you have to build certain habits. And these habits are instilled in us either by our parents, our teachers, or we learn these habits as we go along. Some people are in the right environment at the right time, so they learn how to study in the right way. So they seem to ace their exams very well. Now, it is my belief that everybody is smart. Like even kids that bomb exams in class. Like let's say my high school, bomb exams in class. They are still extremely witty when you talk to them. Extremely talented when you talk to them. The only difference is I put in the work studying and they didn't put in the work studying. Doesn't mean that they're any less smart than I was. And when you put in that work studying, you get that you reap the results of putting in the work studying that they don't reap. They might reap other rewards because they put in the work in other areas. But when it comes to studying and getting great grades and maybe going like the best schools and so on, that does not happen for them. So, hey guys, my name is Dr. Safu Asante. For those of you that don't know me, I want to kind of make a little change to the way that I'm making my videos now. The videos that I made before were mainly focused on matching and how to match, and that's still the concept that I want to play with in my channel. But now I'm moving away from the immediate match to a little bit further before that. So that, let's say you catch this video at the beginning of medical school, you learn the steps that can help you become a better medical student so that you can eventually end up matching into the residency program or specialty that you want. And that's all that my videos are about, and that's all that I want to pass on to you. My journey has been fraught with obstacles here and there. These are obstacles of my journey because I just didn't feel like putting effort into certain areas. But I also overcame those obstacles with hard work. But this video is more specifically about the work that studying entails. So let's go to my first upheaval in studying. When I was younger, I was never really a bad student. I could sit down and read. Okay? When I was younger, I remember even before the time that my mom would sit me down in front of a blackboard to teach me English language. I remember even further back, when I was a young kid, my dad would read to me as a child. And just hearing him tell me these stories as a child made me curious, made me want to know more about what happened to Bear Rabbit, which is one of the books that we used to read. And I would read. This was German, right? Because at that point I was in Germany. But that's neither here nor there. And then a little bit later, my mother was teaching me English words and helping me sharpen my reading skills by teaching me on the blackboard at home. And as any normal child, your mind works pretty fast. You get distracted very easily. So I would get distracted, but she would bring me back and teach me. And then after that, I remember my parents got me a tutor. That tutor tutored me in math. And I did well in my regular school exams. I did very well in the standardized exams that I had to take at that time. And it wasn't an issue. I was lucky to have the parents that I had, the environment that I had, the environment that they created that made me curious about learning, made me not feel that bad about studying very hard. So when I moved to the United States at a young age and I did high school, it was extremely easy for me. I mean, I worked a little bit, but I already had the foundation set from my study habits, what was taught to me back in Ghana. And how did I study at that point? I would just read the material maybe once, twice, and I'll be done. And it was enough to make it stick in my head for me to do very well in exams. And with math, my foundations were so good, and I loved doing math that I would work on practice problems, and I had my foundation set that it was easy to derive a method of solving equations and math problems from what I already knew. So let's just say the beginning of my journey was guided. Yeah, and that was the first part of my journey. The first part of my journey, like I said, was guided. I was lucky to have parents that valued education and made sure that I was in the right environment and got the tutors that I needed, put in the effort to push a distracted young kid, like every other young kid, to study. Now, some people don't have this. That's understandable. And doing well in classes does not necessarily equal being smart in general. You're smart in that area compared to others, but you might not be smart in other things in general, which other people are smart in. But learning is something that should not be looked down upon, because it's a way that you can grow. You have to keep growing. I had to grow in my studying when I went to college. I had to grow in my studying when I went to medical school. And I'm still adjusting my studying at the moment. It never stops. There's always a more efficient way to study. And the specific people that have studied the art of studying. And the reason why I thought this video was so important to make is that this art of studying, finding your art of studying, is one of the most important things you can do as a medical student. That's the route that you are trying to take. It's the most important thing that you can do as any student, any route that you're trying to take. Because it's a way for you to assimilate information and utilize that information. Because I believe that any path that you are trying to take, somebody else is taking that path. And if you're able to study that path that that person has taken, you're able to get yourself closer to success. And this is just a tip to help you be more successful. Now, in regards to studying, the art of studying is something that you should not take for granted. Learn to study well and watch my other videos and see how my studying routine advanced. If you like this video, I know it's a little different from my other ones, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button. Do whatever you want. That's fine. I enjoy making these videos for you, and I hope that you guys gain some sort of benefit from these videos. And if you do, just comment down below. Dr. Safwa Sante, out.